Hello, beautiful people, and welcome back to Frequency Friday. I'm your host, Christine Marcario, and this is our weekly moment to pause, breathe, and tune into the energetic rhythm of the universe so that we can move through life a little more consciously and a little bit more aligned. Today is Friday the 13th. Dun, dun, dun. And while the date sometimes carries superstition, energetically, this day actually holds something much more interesting. Today, the cosmos is asking us to listen deeply to our intuition and take aligned action toward our destiny. Let's break down the energy of the moment. And fun fact, my son, my firstborn, was born on a Friday the 13th. And this is also the second month in a row that we've had a Friday the 13th. I saw someone post on one of the groups I'm in today and was like, do you guys think it's weird that we had two Friday the 13th in a row? And I thought, no, because March usually, except on a leap year, mimics February. I didn't want to burst that person's bubble, so I kept that observation to myself. But fun fact, let's talk about the moon because it is a Frequency Friday and we are all about the moon and its energy. So right now, the moon is in a waning crescent phase with about 30% illumination, meaning we are in the final phase of the lunar cycle. Energetically, this phase is about release, reflection, and spiritual integration. The waning crescent is not about pushing forward. It's about softening, listening, and clearing space. Think of it like the universe whispering, what are you ready to let go of before the next beginning? Earlier this month, we had a worm full moon, which illuminated our routines, our habits, and the ways we might be overly critical of ourselves. Now, in this final lunar phase, we are integrating the lessons from that moment. So if things feel quieter, slower, or more reflective for you right now, that is exactly the energy of the moon. Here's where things are going to get a little bit more fun. I want to tie in some astrology. Today, there is a powerful alignment between Mars and the North Node in Pisces, which astrologers often interpret as a moment that pushes us toward our soul's direction. Mars represents action and drive, while the North Node represents destiny and soul growth. So when these two energies meet in Pisces, a sign already connected to intuition, spirituality, and compassion, we are being invited to take action that is guided by the soul rather than the ego. This is less about forcing things to happen and more about allowing inspired action to emerge. In other words, your next step may not come from logic. It may come from feeling. There is also something else happening right now that many of you might be feeling. We are still in Mercury retrograde in Pisces, which will wrap up around March 20th, but we still have a little bit of time there, so womp womp. Mercury retrograde often brings miscommunications, revisiting old ideas, emotional reflection, and things start to resurface from the past. And if you had my luck that I had this week, your travel plans may be a little bumpier than expected. But in Pisces, this retrograde has been especially intuitive and emotional. Yes, I also started my day the other day with a really good cry. Why? I don't know, it just flowed out and I let it. You may have been asking yourself some deeper questions or feeling your emotions more rawly. Some questions that you could ask yourself are, what is actually aligned for me? Where have I been ignoring my intuition? And what am I ready to change? And if things have felt a little bit foggy recently, that's not a mistake. Sometimes clarity comes after reflection. Now, let's also tie in the energy of Friday the 13th. Friday the 13th has long been associated with mystery, fate, and transformation. But energetically, this particular Friday the 13th feels less like bad luck and more like a course correction moment. A moment where the universe quietly asks, are you walking in the direction of your soul or just following the same old familiar path? Sometimes the biggest shifts happen when we slow down enough to notice what our intuition has been trying to tell us all along. So as you move through today, here is a question you might sit with. Where is life asking you to trust yourself more deeply? Not the voice of fear, not the voice of obligation, not the voice of your ego, but the quiet voice inside of you that already knows the truth. Your soul knows, your heart knows, and your emotions are the roadmap. So tune in and turn up that volume. I want to offer you a simple practice for today or this weekend or whenever you're listening. Here are some beautiful questions that you can take a moment to pause and get quiet and ask yourself, what am I ready to release from this past lunar cycle? What intuition have I been ignoring? And what would one small aligned step look like? Don't think about the whole staircase. One small aligned step. Then, simply breathe. I want to remind you, you don't need to solve everything today. And I am taking my own advice there. Sometimes alignment begins with simply acknowledging what your soul already knows. Thank you for spending this moment with me on this Friday the 13th, Frequency Friday. If this episode resonated with you, share it with someone who might need a little energetic check-in today. And remember, alignment isn't about forcing life to unfold a certain way. It's about listening deeply, trusting yourself, and allowing the path to reveal itself step by step. Until next time, stay aligned and stay abundant. If you've been feeling the pull for deeper transformation, real, lasting change that starts from within, I'd love to invite you into transformational one-on-one coaching with me. This is where alignment becomes your new normal. You'll get 4 90-minute sessions at an introductory offer of $600, designed to help you release what's holding you back, reconnect with your truth, and step into the next version of yourself, fully and unapologetically. You can book your sessions through the link in my bio. Just tap my Linktree to get started. Your next breakthrough is closer than you think, and I'd love to be a part of your journey.